If I could ask everyone to stand, please, and we're going to pledge allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, folks. I'm going to tell you a little bit about what this process is to help you understand when it comes to your turn to talk about your case. These hearings are in front of a magistrate. I'm a hearing officer, and they are organized and established, legalized, if you will, by the Florida legislature. They passed a statute, and it's in Chapter 162, and this has been incorporated in the City of Deltona Code of Ordinances in Chapter 2 to create a forum, which is what we're doing tonight. And it can be done either with a code board, but the City of Deltona has been using this method for a couple years now, or longer. And regardless of whether it's before a board or an individual like myself acting as a hearing officer, the same process has to be, legal process has to be followed. It's called quasi-judicial. And that's a fancy word for saying it's, we're not making the rules, we're applying the rules to the facts that I'm going to hear from all of you this evening. And it's not like a formal trial in a circuit court or a county court. So we're a little bit more easygoing about, we're trying to get to fairness. We're trying to get to fairness and trying to understand what the sides are, your side and the city side. So that's what we're trying to do. I come into these meetings where I know, I've read, all I know, I haven't talked to anybody. I haven't talked to anybody at the city. So it's not like I want all of you to think that I've know anything about this case other than just reading the caption, which tells me what part of the code that applies. And I haven't spoken to anybody that's a subject of the hearings this evening. So one thing I want you to understand, if you do tonight when your case is called, if you do come forward and you want me to see documents, you're going to need to give it to a clerk, and they'll bring it up to me, and I will absolutely consider them. But it's important to understand that if you want me to look at something, and I look at something, we call it, it becomes part of the record. And what that means is we have to keep it so that it's clear exactly what evidence, what facts I base my decision on tonight. So if you give me documents, I need to keep them. The city keeps them, and if you need copies, you can get them from Angela, who's the clerk, the city clerk that does this, and she can get you those. So when your case is called, and the way we do this, you signed in, all of you signed in, you remember, when your case is called, it's first come, first serve. So that way you don't have to wait around, because we've got a lot on the agenda tonight. We're going to call you first, so you'll be able to get done and get out of here and get home, because I'm sure that's where you'd rather be. So when we call your case, the way it's going to work is that the city will go first, because they're the ones that have to prove their case, not you. They have to prove their case. So I'm going to listen to them first, and then when they're done, then I want to hear from each one of you. So just, keep your seat until we call your case, and even then, I want to hear from the city first. And then when you come forward, I need to swear everybody in, so we'll do that in a second. But when you come forward on your case, see where that lectern is right there? That one right there, that's where you're going to come up and tell me what you want me to hear. Isn't that where we have them? I'm sorry, I see I'm wrong already. It's that one right there, but that's where you go, right there. Thanks. Okay, next on our agenda, you'll see I've looked at and I've read and I've reviewed and approved the minutes from the last meeting and the agenda for this evening. We've got some cases that have been removed because they've been either resolved or continued, or withdrawn. So I'm gonna read those out to you real quickly. So if you're here on that case, then it's resolved or it's gone away temporarily. So the first one has to do, it's a massive case with 2570 Coachman Drive. That one's been continued. Let's see. DEL 21108 involves property at 785 Deltona Boulevard. There's two cases on that. Both of them have been withdrawn. Another property on Deltona Boulevard, 1260 Deltona Boulevard, that's been continued. And then a case involving the property at 2286 Montano Street. That has been withdrawn. And lastly, there was a case that was continued, and that's 887 Deltona Boulevard. That one has been continued. So if you're here on any of those, then you certainly are free to go ahead and leave. At this point, what I'm going to do, because this is in the nature of quasi-judicial, I'm going to ask anybody today, including the city representatives and those of you in the audience, if you're going to be testifying, giving me evidence tonight, I'm going to need you to stand and I'm going to swear you in. So if you stand and raise your right hand, I will swear you in. Anybody that's going to testify? Anybody that's going to want me to hear what they have to say? Raise your right hand, please. You swear or affirm that the testimony you provide tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Thank you very much. So again, when you all have a seat. I want you to get, sir, could you go over and talk to that gentleman right there, and he'll confirm it, because I don't want to make a mistake. You drove all the way here, and then I send you home, and I shouldn't have. If you can just talk with that gentleman, then we'll know for sure. We'll hope for the best. Okay. Do you have that sheet? Thank you. All right, the first case actually involves two matters, DEL 21-111 and DEL 21-112 at 1066 McCormick. And there's two different cases. So we're going to start with the first one, which involves a permit issue, DEL 21-111. Again, property address 1066 McCormick Drive, property owner, and I apologize if I mispronounce your names, I apologize. Mario Augusto Osorio Padron and Cristina Osorio. No, sorry, sir. Good try. Sid, you ready to proceed?
1 minute, sir. Let me get set up.
Whenever you're ready, sir.
Yes, sir.
We're just doing the first one now, so DEL 21-111.
Yes, sir. Good evening. My name is Myron San Miguel. I'm employed by the City of Deltona as an Enforcement Services Officer. This will be case DEL 21-111. Padron Mario Augusto Osorio Cristina M., located at 1066 McCormick Drive, Deltona, Florida. Their parcel ID number is 8130-0555-0090. Stand by 1 second, sir. There we go. This case involves Florida Building Code Section 105.1 states that any owner, authorized agent who intends to construct, enlarge, alter, repair, move, demolish, or change the occupancy of a building or structure, or to erect, install, enlarge, alter, repair, remove, convert, or replace any electrical, gas, mechanical, or plumbing system, the installation of which is regulated by this code, or to cause any such work to be done, shall first make application to the building official and obtain the required permit located on your property at 1066 McCormick. The corrective action for this is to obtain a permit, applications to be submitted to the City of Deltona, and the structures must meet all requirements of the city ordinance and be approved on final inspection. This case was initially started as a debris case. When I went out to the house, there were multiple lawn mowers and items in the front yard. After further investigation, it showed that there were also items in the backyard as well. Due to that, I saw multiple sheds that were not permitted, and that likely would not be permitted through the city. I'm trying to open these photos 1 second. As you can see here, on the right-hand side of the property, there looks to be about 3 sheds and a temporary structure. In the backside, there's another shed. On the far left-hand corner, there's a shed and what looks to be some sort of temporary awning structure as well. It was requested of the homeowner to go ahead and obtain a permit. As of today, when I checked, I did not see one in the system. That would be what the violation would be for this case for DEL 21-111.
Could you tell me about the notices, how they were sent and received?
Yes, sir. They were posted on the property. They were posted 10 days prior. They were sent certified mail, and they were hand-delivered to him at his door.
Very good. This case is just about the sheds.
Yes, sir. This case is just about the sheds in the back that aren't permitted.
3 big sheds in the back towards the right.
The 3 on the right, this would be all of the structures that were built without a permit on the property. So all of the structures surrounding along the fence line would have to get permitted. That was explained to him and sent with the notice.
All right. Anything further from the city?
No, sir.
Okay. Mr. or Mrs. Padron or Ms. Osario? Sir, if you could go ahead and go right over there, and I need for you to tell me, when you all go up and chat with me, I need you to tell me your name.
My name is Mario Osorio
Where do you live, sir?
at 1066 McCormick Drive.
Thank you.
Deltona, Florida.
What do you want me to hear?
I apologize for making my yard so bad because I like working on lawnmowers, but then it's created a problem for me, and I'm starting to realize that, and that's why I decided to take all these buildings down. I threw most of it away, and I got some pictures of my yard here. It looks a lot better.
Okay, well, if there are pictures about the things that are in the yard, that's the next case. There's 2 separate matters this evening. The first one is just about the sheds. So if you have pictures of the sheds or pictures that show that the sheds are not there,
That's it.
then I need for you to go over and give the photographs to that gentleman right there, and he's going to bring them over to me. Again, right now I'm just focusing on if there's sheds that haven't been permitted, folks.
Now, the sheds on the right.
Hang on just a second.
Okay.
I want to look at the pictures.
Okay.
Okay? Sure.
I just want to make clear for the record.
Well, let me hear what they have to say first, okay? I want to hear everything they have to say. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I want to talk about these photos that you just handed me, and I may be talking to both of you, okay? But I want to understand these photos, because it's not fair to either party, the city or you, if I'm not understanding what these photos show or don't show.
I understand.
Okay, some of these photos look like there are no sheds, and then there's a couple of them that show that there looks like there's a couple. One's just look like a tarp over some stands, and the other looks like it's almost like a sort of a mobile home type of thing. So, are you in the process of trying to take down or get rid of all the sheds?
No, sir. I have a permit for the big shed, everything on the right, and the little one. I thought I got a permit a long time ago. But the canopy, at one time, an inspector told me that you're allowed to have a canopy. There's a pole barn, and you don't have to have a permit.
Okay. All right. And I appreciate you bringing these. This is exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm going to receive these, and I'm going to accept these unless there's a city's objection as the Respondent's Composite Exhibit 1. And now, sir, so that, because these are always the best evidence. You know, it's easier for me to look at a photo than try to understand from someone describing it. So now I want to ask the city some questions, okay? So just, you don't go anywhere, but I just want to ask this.
Okay.
So you've had a chance to look at these, right?
Yes, sir.
Does that change your testimony this evening as far as what's still there or what's not there?
It does not change my testimony. From those photos, it still shows that there's structures in the backyard that still need permitted. Sir, you are correct. If it's a temporary awning structure in your backyard, you don't need a permit for that. However, the reference of this photo, which is all I was able to discuss with you, did not differentiate whether or not they were temporary structures or sheds. When I initially went to the property, the other case was addressed, and this was because of the investigation looking into this
Right.
photo, brought these about. However, it was not cooperated to view the backyard. I could only view the backyard from where I was standing in the street and in the right-of-way, and I could see the tops of most of these structures, which allowed me to pull the property appraiser's photo, but I have still not been brought into the backyard to show any differentiation of what's there and what's not.
I need someone to take these back to the code enforcement officer. Here's what I want you to look at these pictures. And then I want you to tell me whether those pictures reflect any sheds still remaining on the property that, in your opinion, as a code enforcement officer of the city of Deltona, need a permit.
These two photos that I pulled out, sir, would be still requiring a permit from what I can tell. Sir, when did you say you took these photos?
I just finished cleaning up. I took them today.
Today? Okay.
I've been working really hard at cleaning this up.
Well, that's what I'm hearing. And I'm hearing, folks, everybody listen to me now.
This shed right here, that's been permitted a long time ago. That's like 12 by 24. And the one behind it, that was permitted a long time ago.
Okay, I've heard his testimony. He's saying that, yeah, there's a couple sheds on the property, but either that they were already permitted. Do you have any evidence tonight to refute that, to say, no, they're not permitted?
No, sir, other than that I looked and I didn't see anything in our systems that showed a permit on the property there.
How long ago did you say you got permits for these remaining sheds? How long ago did you say you got those?
I've been in there since 1998, and it wasn't too long before we got the big shed, and we had somebody.
Now, my question is, when did you permit them? How long ago did you get them permitted?
1999.
Okay. So, okay, thank you. So now, let's assume that's true, officer. How far back would your records go as far as to show whether a structure's been permitted or not?
I don't think they would go that far.
Mr. Reichman, we became a city in 2000, so we'd have to get that information from the property appraiser's office.
Yeah, probably from the county then. Okay.
Correct.
Let me understand now. What the city is saying is that there are several structures on your property, okay, that should be permitted. That the ones that were on your property that definitely needed to be permitted, they're gone. Is that correct, officer?
If those photos are accurate as of today, based on those evidences provided, then yes, I would withdraw this case and we would deal with that one shed.
Okay.
And double check records.
When was the last time you went out to this property?
Last week. But
Okay.
again, I was not permitted from the homeowner, which is not legally required
Sure,
to show
no, I
me the
understand.
backyard. But I can only go off of the evidence that I had, which was property appraisers, which was December, January timeframe.
So when you went out there last week, did you see the tops of these sheds that were on the right?
I saw the tops of the sheds that were on the right, yes, sir.
Okay.
And those are the photos that you have, correct, sir? If you look on the right-hand side of the photo, on that photo right there from property appraisers, the evidence that you provided tonight with those sheds, is that the sheds that are still on the property?
No, that was the ones on the left. That's the photos that I got. The one photo covers the canopy. It doesn't cover the one back in the back.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do on this first case. I'm not really able to make a decision tonight about what's there and what's not there. So I'm going to
Okay.
continue the case to the next month. And what I'm going to need from both of you is to get together, chat, and sir, I need you to let this guy, you don't have to, but it's my advice to help me make a decision for you, to let this
Okay.
gentleman go back to the back of your property, determine whether these sheds are gone or not.
Okay.
And then you may or may not need to do anything more. I don't know.
Can I say something too? Since I've been getting rid of all this junk, it's been giving me some satisfaction because I don't really need all that stuff. I'm starting to realize it. And I told my wife that including, since I got rid of that shed, I'm going to get rid of that little one too, because it's pretty old. It's been around for a while. I'm going to get rid of that little one, but I'm not going to get rid of that big one because I need that one. And they're both legal.
Well, here's what I'm doing. I'm going to continue the case. That means I'm going to not make a decision tonight, sir.
Okay.
But it's going to come back, unless something has changed, it's going to come back in about a month from now. And between now and then is a golden opportunity for you to get with this gentleman right here and show him your backyard so both of you can decide whether there's any sheds in your backyard that need permitting. And if the answer is no, then he'll withdraw the case.
Okay, because it's written, it's circled by the city on my map, the drawing of my the whole lot. So they circle both sheds there.
Yes, sir, I'm aware of that, but I cannot tell from the testimony I have tonight from the city, and based upon your testimony, there are still sheds out there.
Yeah,
There are still sheds out there. And you said that you got permits, but they go back to before, the city's going to have to come in and determine whether there's permits or not. That's all we're dealing with is the necessity for permits, folks.
okay.
All right? So I would think if you've got 30 days, you're going to be able to get those questions answered. And if they're answered to the city's satisfaction, you won't have to come back here. So I need you to cooperate with this gentleman, and most likely that'll solve all the problems.
Okay, we'll do.
Okay. And I appreciate you being here. And-
The last time I was in the process of cleaning when he come around, and I didn't want to let him in because I had a mess back there. And I had to clean it up.
All right,
And again, I'm
don't go
sorry.
anywhere. You can have a seat, but we're going to do your next case, okay?
Fine.
Okay.
So just have a seat for just a second.
Continue the other one. Yeah. Let's work with them on both.
Sir, at this time, we would like to continue the other one and work on both together. That's going to be DEL 21-112.
It's up to the city.
Yes, sir.
I'm not going to fight you on it.
We'll continue both
Okay.
at this time.
I think that you're going to be able to get both of them resolved. It sounds like. All right, good result. All right. Can you explain to folks that the next one's been continued to and they can leave?
I'm going to step out and talk with them.
Okay, great. All right.
Your Honor, that would be a continuation to the next meeting?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, now, the next one, let me make sure I get this. It's one property, and there were three cases, I believe, and one of them has resolved. Is that correct? Let me read them out. There's two cases involving 2286 Montero Street. There was three cases on the agenda, and my agenda says that one of them has been withdrawn, and that's 21118.
Correct.
Before we get started, I just want to make sure we're all talking about the same case. Okay, so we still do have two cases regarding 2286 Montano Street. Correct? Okay, so let me go ahead and announce those. I bet that's yours. Okay. So we're here tonight on two cases. One's been withdrawn, DEL 21118. That was regarding a permit. But there are still two cases that we have tonight. DEL 21-119 involving that property. This one also deals with a permit, and we'll learn more about it in a second. And the other one's DEL 21-120. And again, tonight's permit night. Those two cases both deal with permits. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So these properties, these cases, excuse me, both deal with the property 2286 Montano Street. And on both of these, the property is listed, the property owners are listed as Christine D. and Manuel Cisneros. And I'm going to have case 21-119 first.
Thank you, sir. My name is Marion Laracy. I'm employed with the City of Deltona as a code compliance officer. This is in reference to case number DEL 21-119. Property owner is Christina D. and Manuel Cisneros. Property address is 2286 Montano Street, Deltona, Florida. The parcel ID number is 813-041-120-180. This is in violation of City of Deltona Ordinance Section 18-3, adopting the latest edition of the Florida Building Code, Section 105.1, which states that any owner, authorized agent who intend to construct, enlarge, alter, repair, remove, demolish, or change the occupancy of a building or structure, or to erect, install, enlarge, alter, repair, remove, convert, or replace any electrical, gas, mechanical, or plumbing system, the installation of which regulated by this code, or to cause any such work to be done, shall first make application to the building official and obtain the required permit. Excuse me. Statutory requirements for notification of this hearing have been met by notice of hearing and notice of code violation were sent certified mail to the property owner at the address listed with the property appraiser's records and were posted on the property 10 days prior to this hearing. All evidence in this case, including photographs, have been marked as exhibits and submitted to the code board clerk. I certify any and all photographs to be true and accurate portrayals of what I observed on the day they were taken. This is a proactive case that began May 24th, 2021, when I noticed multiple structures that appear to be temporary storage units, total 3 in the rear yard. I have provided an aerial view of the property appraisers. I believe it's Exhibit C. And it also a copy of the survey, that's Exhibit D, to compare the two together. A permit was issued April 2020, which is Exhibit E, but a final inspection was not completed and the permit expired July 2021. After speaking with the building department, it was determined that the permit would need to be completed, but by doing this, the resident would need to obtain an updated survey showing the placement of the structure and the size and dimensions are required. The photos reveal there are 3 of these structures, 2 of which are supposed to have been L-shaped per the survey. This does not appear to be the case. Having more than 2 structures in the side and rear yard is prohibited. The resident has not made any contact to me since the case opened in May, but recently has spoken to our Mr. Carl Lynch, who's in the building department. He's here if you need any answers to any questions.
As far as the service of the notice of violation, notice of hearing, those are in the file?
Yes,
Okay. So let me make sure, we're just dealing with this one case,
correct.
21-119, and you've got, is it, how many structures are at issue in this? One? Just one?
In this particular case, there's,
Yes.
from what I can tell, there are 3 structures. According to the survey, 2 of them apparently were supposed to be L-shaped.
And the other, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but what I'm hearing is that the property owner started to try to comply with the permit process set forth in our code
Correct.
and couldn't finish it.
I'm not sure if he couldn't finish it. It's
He
just the
didn't
final
finish it.
inspection wasn't
He
completed.
didn't finish it.
Correct.
And that's what the city's saying he needs to do, or they need to do, to bring the property into compliance.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Is someone here to testify on behalf of the owners, or are the owners here for 2286 Montano Street, and this is case DEL 2119? Yes, sir. Please come forward and give me your name and your address, sir. Tell me what you want to hear. You've heard the city's statement, so I want to hear your side.
Thanks. My name is Manuel Cisneros. Live at 2286 Montano Street, Deltona, Florida, 32738. Yeah, so she's absolutely correct. The only inaccuracy I heard in her statement was that she wasn't contacted by me, which I did contact her, left a voicemail. But either way, the project...
I'm not going to get mad at either of you,
Yeah,
whether you
no.
talked or not. I'm just worried
Sure,
about,
sure.
I'm just worried about the structure and the permit.
Yeah, so I actually came to the city prior to doing any of the work to make sure that I had the information that I needed when I first started. And when I did that, the design of how I wanted to lay it out had changed. What she's referring to as connexes are sheds. They look like connexes, but the original permit that I had permission, and it was cleared from the city here. Per me, and I showed them the plans. I showed them the sheds, and how they dismantled. They determined they were not connexes, so I went ahead and purchased those. It was about a $7,000 purchase. There are 3, but they connect. So if I wanted to have 2, I based it off of square footage that was allowed, and the 3 total the square footage. But then my fault, I changed the design and I failed to update the permit. So I did, I was trying to get it inspected, and that's when I had reached out to Mr. Lynch. But just, I work a lot and I'm gone. I'm like a one-man show. So by the time I did get around to it, it was too late, and I know that sounds bad, but.
So
life
what I'm
happens.
hearing is that everyone agrees that you're trying, but you haven't quite gotten to the end of the race.
Yeah, not yet,
And you need a little more time
yes.
to get the permits, and in the process of getting the permits, you'll know this, and because the city will tell you, what you can put back there exactly, or not.
Correct.
Fair enough?
Yeah.
So,
I just want to add, too, sorry to interrupt, that they were permitted previously and approved. Just expired, so I just got another permit. I'm actually submitted it through the city, so it is submitted. And
you just
Mr.
need to
Lynch-
finish the process.
Yeah, Mr. Lynch, I actually contacted him again because I wasn't sure if I had to come here today, and he said it's best if I do show up just in case. So in regards to the sheds, he does have paperwork for that. It's been applied for.
It's
So-
been applied for,
Yeah.
but the case tonight, and I appreciate you telling me that. That's
Sure.
important to know. It helps me a lot.
Sure.
You've applied for it, but this process has to be completed.
Yes, correct.
And what I'm going to ask next is, to me, one of the most important things as part of this case, and maybe the next one, but this one, we're just talking about these sheds in the back. And I'd like to hear from both of you what amount of time the city thinks would be appropriate or reasonable to allow the gentleman to complete the process. I want to ask the city's opinion first, and then I want to ask you, sir.
Thank you.
We agreed on giving till November 16th,
Okay?
or a $50 a day fine.
November
This was-
16th.
Yes.
That's
This was
pretty
prior
generous.
to, I had no knowledge of the application being turned in today, so.
November 16th.
Mr. Reichman, the reason for that is because of where he's got them placed now. If that's where he would like to keep them, there would be some variances he would have to go through.
Oh, okay.
And that gives him time to look at that option if he has to.
Okay, that makes more sense. All right, so you heard what they said. I mean, it's today's August 25th, and they're giving until, or they're recommending that you have until November 16th. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that's more than fair.
Okay.
It's been delayed in the past just because of everything with COVID and so forth.
Yeah.
but,
All right, well, it sounds like we got a plan.
Sure, thank you.
So what I'm going to rule is, so just now I'm putting it into I'm going to say what you'll get in the mail when a written order. I'm going to say that the property for this case remains in violation, and it needs to be cured by November 16th of this year, or a fine will start running. That's how this works,
Understood.
and that'll be $50 per day. And you understand, I'm not up here to make this process a profit venture. We just want this to get
Sure.
complied with.
Sure.
So, and, that's what makes me happy, is that we get the codes, I get paid no matter what. Okay.
Yeah.
So you understand what happened on this case?
Yeah, not a problem.
Okay,
Understood.
so now we got another one.
Yep.
And then you're free. So if you go ahead and have a seat, sir.
Okay.
And I'm going to hear the city in this next case, which is 120, 2286 Montano Street. Same property owner, same property, just apparently a different code or different issue.
Yes, sir, thank you. My name is Marion Laracy. I'm employed with the City of Deltona Code Compliance Officer. This is in reference to case DL 21-120. Property owners Christina D. and Manuel Cisneros. Property address is 2286 Montano Street, Deltona, Florida. Parcel ID is 813-041-120-180. This is in violation of City of Deltona Ordinance, Section 18-3, adopting the latest edition of the Florida Building Code, Section 105.1, which states that any owner authorized agent who intends to construct, enlarge, alter, repair, move, demolish, or change the occupancy of a building or structure, or to erect, install, enlarge, alter, repair, remove, convert, or replace any electrical, gas, mechanical, or plumbing system, the installation of which regulated by this code, or to cause any such work to be done, shall first make application to the building official and obtain the required permit. Statutory requirements for this notification of hearing have been met by the notice of hearing, and notice of code violation were sent certified mail to the property owner at the address listed with the property appraiser's record and were posted on the property 10 days prior to the hearing. All evidence in this case, including photographs, have been marked as exhibits and submitted to the code board clerk. I certify any and all photographs to be true and accurate portrayals of what I observed on the day they were taken. I guess, again, proactive case that began June 2021 when I noticed a large wooden structure towards the front of the house. I did not see a permit on file with the city. It appears this
I'm sorry to
structure-
interrupt. We got a picture up here. Could you
Yes.
identify the structure that we're talking about in this case from that photo that's on the screen for everyone to see?
Yes, that wooden
With the slat? The
slats
slatted?
going across and the posts.
Okay, it's that. Obviously, it's not the shed, it's not the other part of the house. It's what's standing separate from the house.
Correct.
On the big poles.
Correct.
Just want to make sure that everyone, the gentleman and I and you are all talking about the same thing. Okay.
It's like that
He's
wooden,
nodding his head. Good.
wooden deck thing. I'm not sure
Yeah.
how to describe it. Again, I didn't see a permit for that. And I'm not sure if it's attached to these structures, these sheds, temporary, I guess,
Well, let me ask this
Connex
question.
boxes.
When did you check to see whether a permit has been issued?
I checked this afternoon. There hasn't been any permits on file
Okay.
for
all right.
anything.
So this one's kind of the same. You just need to make sure that this thing gets inspected through the permit process.
Correct.
That's what we're trying to do, is make sure it's safe and get it permitted.
Correct.
Okay. Sir, if you go ahead and stand up again, come on up here. And again, just for the record, give me your name and your address, and then you know the drill.
Sure. Manuel Cisneros, 2286 Montano Street, Deltona, Florida, 32738.
Go ahead.
So this one here is actually a playground, and it doesn't require a permit. I checked as well when I did my other research prior to building or doing anything. And to answer her question, it is not attached, it's free-floating. The permitting, I asked if there is any kind of regulation or anything for playgrounds. They said no. What you're not seeing on here is that's the back side of it. So the slats is actually the safety so that they can't fall out. It's taller than the kid, and they can't climb it to go over. There is a twisty slide. You see a little yellow patch to the left through the slats. That's the entrance to the twisty slide, and it goes down to the floor, to the ground. And then in the middle there, what's hanging, and you can't see it in the picture, you see the chains, but you can't see the yellow swing seats. So there's two swings in there that go underneath. So it's basically a platform so that the kids can get to the slide, and then they slide down, and they can swing in the middle. So that's why there's no permit, and that's why she didn't find anything.
Okay, and because what I'm hearing your position is that there's no permit because the permit's not necessary because of what it is.
Yes, it's a playground.
Okay, so right back to the city. What's your response to that?
Okay. I have a building official here. I guess he can.
Let's get him up. Yeah, I mean, if the building official would come on up and try to help us out here. Please, sir, if you could identify yourself and your position with the city.
Thank you. My name is Carl Lynch, and I'm the Assistant Building Official for the city.
So you've heard the young lady standing to your left, and you've heard the gentleman that's the owner of this property.
Yes.
And I think you understand what I'm trying to determine, and that is a permit necessary for this?
Well, I will agree with Mr. Cisneros that it is correct that building permits are not required for playground equipment. However, if I'm not mistaken, you yourself basically spoke of this as a deck. And you know, it is a little bit elaborate for playground equipment, but there's no specific definition for it.
Okay, well, I'm going to rely upon, I didn't draft the code, it's the code that you work with on a daily basis.
Yes,
So
sir.
I'm asking for the city's opinion on whether or not, based upon, if you can this evening, based upon the evidence that you see, that we all see, can you determine, threshold question, can you determine whether that structure, playground equipment, whatever, under the city code is going to need a permit or not?
Mr. Cisneros, can you tell me what the dimensions of the structure are as far as the footprint?
Yeah, I think the platform where the kids would get up to get to the actual slide entrance, that's, I believe those are 16 feet long. The width, I think, is probably maybe actually, I think it's like 7 feet wide.
Okay.
The height from the platform to the ground is about 8 feet. And then the slats, the horizontal slats, that's encasing it so that they don't, fall out or jump out or anything like that. That's no higher than, I believe, 11 feet, somewhere in there. Maybe a little bit more, 11 feet.
Okay.
Somewhere in that.
So we're talking about outside dimensions of approximately 16 by 7? Is that?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, I apologize for my math skills. 16 by 7? What's that come out to be, please?
Oh, actually, I don't think it's 16. I stand corrected. Because it's 8. I just remember now, because the bottom platform is where the swings are, the 2 swings.
Okay.
So I believe that's 8, because I remember when I built it, I specifically didn't want to cut wood. So I used I think it was like 2 by 6 by 8s for, laying it down so they have somewhere to step.
Okay, so you
I
basically...
stand corrected. It was 8 wide, and I believe it was 7 across, if I'm correct.
7 by 8?
Yes.
Okay, so we're talking 56 square feet?
Yeah.
Okay, all
Possibly,
right.
yeah, around there,
All right.
approximately.
Actually, I would say no. A permit would not be required, sir.
Okay. Let me tell you what my concerns are, and maybe we can still get it done tonight, but I have a couple concerns. Number one, that's a structure, and I'm assuming that didn't come prepackaged. You built that.
Yeah, it's
God
custom.
bless you.
Yeah, that's
There's
right.
going to be kids up on that structure. And what I don't want to have to worry about as a special magistrate
Sure.
is some children getting on that and then it falling apart underneath them.
Sure.
Now, the only way, and I'm not insinuating that you didn't do a beautiful job building that.
I understand.
That's a concern, and that you don't need a permit, but it's a concern. Secondly, it looks like it's right on your property line.
It's not. It's.
I can't tell from that photo.
Right. I can tell you
So-
specifically, it's 10 foot from the rear easement, and it's approximately 12 to 15
Because if
feet
it would need
from
a
the side
permit-
easement. Pardon?
Let me tell you where I'm coming from. One of the things about a permit, and I'm not saying that this one's necessary, but one of the things that's about a permit is make sure that whatever you're permitting is built right so it doesn't hurt people.
Sure.
Number two, to make sure it's consistent with the code so it's not right on someone else's property.
Correct.
Because that's why you have setbacks.
Correct.
You wouldn't want someone to build their house right up to their property line, so you got to look into their home all the time.
Exactly.
Okay. So I'm asking the city again, is it based upon all the evidence that you have tonight, does this structure need a permit?
I would say for the purpose of keeping it out of the easement, absolutely.
Okay, this is what I'm going to do. Again, I'm not trying to make work. I'm not trying to create a problem. And I don't think you're going to need to come back, but I'm going to continue this case.
Okay.
And what I want the city to do is I want to go out and sir, if you could let them look at the structure.
Sure.
I think what they're going to find is it doesn't need a permit. But I just want to make sure.
Sure.
So I apologize for not being able to just make it done tonight, but I just trying to be safe.
If I could just reiterate as well that it's nowhere near the property line.
I don't think that's fine. And then in which case they'll withdraw it. You heard me say tonight, they've withdrawn other cases.
Sure.
So, to me, when you have a structure like this where there's going to be kids on it and it is or is not within setback, better safe than sorry. So
Yeah.
I think that safeness is going to be fine and I won't see you again. But I just want to give
Yep.
the city an opportunity for my own knowledge.
Sure.
Okay.
I have no objection to you guys coming to look at it. Just want to also say that safety is also my biggest concern, and it's something that I wanted to make sure. I don't want anybody getting hurt on it, so I understand where you're coming from completely. Who would come out?
Okay, So that's what, I'm going to continue it until the next hearing, and it's going to give this gentleman and you, sir, an opportunity to go out and confirm one way or the other that a permit's not necessary. And probably what's going to happen is it'll just be withdrawn and it won't even be on the next agenda. But I don't know that for sure tonight. Fair enough? Okay, thanks a lot. I appreciate you being here today.
Sure, thank you.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. Okay, let's go to our next case. And that is DEL 117. And let me get there on my agenda. Property address of this case, DEL 21117, is 2907 Arundel Drive, and the property owners are listed as Victor Abreu Acevedo, again, apologize if I didn't say that right, Myra E. Almonte, and Delphi Julia Ogando Gonzalez. So, did my best. This involves condition of a structure. City ready to proceed?
Yes, sir. Thank you. My name is Marion Laracy. I am employed with the City of Deltona as a code compliance officer. This is in reference to case number DL21-117. Property owner is Acevedo Victor E. Abreu, Almonte Myra E., Gonzalez Delphi, and Julia Ogando. This property address is 2901 Arundel Drive, Deltona, Florida. The parcel ID number is 813-059-430-170. This is in violation of the City of Deltona Ordinance Section 18-5, adopting the latest edition of the International Property Maintenance Code, Section 302.7, which states all accessory structures, including detached garages, fences, and walls, shall be maintained and kept in good repair and sound structural. All statutory requirements of this notification of this hearing have been met by the notice of hearing, and notice of code violation were sent certified mail to the property owner at the address listed with property appraiser records and were posted on the property 10 days prior to this hearing. All evidence in this case, including the photographs, have been marked as exhibits and submitted to the code board clerk. I certify any and all photographs to be true and accurate portrayals of what I observed on the day they were taken. Again, this is a proactive case that began June 9th, 2021, when I noticed the fence in disrepair. I attempted to contact, but no response, and an initial courtesy notice was left at the residence. A few more attempts for contact were made to the resident, and no change in the condition of the fence. So the decision to move forward with this case and obtain compliance through special magistrate tonight.
Please
No
proceed.
change in the fence.
Beg your pardon?
The fence is still in disrepair as of today.
All right, so let me see if I understand your testimony. What we've got here is we've got a fence. It's that fence that's shown in that photo right there.
Yes, sir.
You did a notice, you did a warning notice, notice of violation,
And then
notice of hearing. We're here tonight. Has the condition of the fence changed at all from the first time you went out to the property?
No, sir.
Okay,
No change.
okay. For compliance, what would be the, just so we're all clear, what is going to happen for this property to come into compliance?
They repair the slats or remove the whole thing or replace the entirety.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Is, I think Victor Abreu, please come forward, sir. Right there, and if you could give me, when you get up here, give me your name and your address, sir, and tell me what you want me to hear.
How you doing?
Good, sir.
Victor Abreu, 2907 Arundel Drive.
Thank you.
Deltona, Florida. I've been out of the country for 2 months because I had an emergency, and that's why you see the grass like that. I always keep my grass clean. But the fence, I've been trying to look for estimate to replace it, but it's so expensive right now because I want to put PVC like that. You see the way they have it in the back? And I got proof right here saying that, I've had a couple of estimates because I want to replace it. But the reason I haven't remove it is because I got 2 little girls and I live on the corners. And the road is so busy there that I don't want to take it off because I got 2 little girls playing in the backyard. And if I do take it off, I'm afraid that they might go in the street. And the street is so busy there that it's right for Cortland.
And I certainly understand that and can appreciate the concern about safety. That's number one. But what I'm hearing, sir, is that you've got a fence that does need to be replaced.
Oh, yeah, I'm definitely going, I'm going to remove
And
it.
so you probably heard what we did before in some of the other cases. What I'm looking forward to in this case, since we know the property, the fence needs to be replaced.
Yeah.
Let's find a solution that's fair.
Yeah.
Not just fair to you, but fair to the people that live around you that have to look at that. So for purposes of trying to get the property into code compliance. So you tell me, and I'm going to listen to the city when you get done, but you tell me what you think you need in order to get that fence fixed.
I'm going to take it down, you know, because right now I can't even afford to buy that. Because if I'm going to do, if I'm going to do something, I want to do it right. I want to put the white PVC, but so much money right now to do it because everything went up because of COVID. But I'm going to take it down.
You're just going to take it down now. So thank you.
Yeah.
So you need about, you think, a month to do that?
No, I came back last night from out of the country. So that's when I saw the notes. And I came over here today. They told me, you got a hearing at 5:30 here. I was like, what, for real? So, but it's definitely going to come down probably tomorrow or
Okay.
this week. It's going to
Okay.
come down.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So let me ask the city, if taking down the fence completely, would that bring the property into compliance?
Yes, sir.
Okay. A week? Is that fair?
Probably tomorrow.
So if I give you a week, that's more than fair?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And like I
okay.
said, maybe reason I'm going to take it down is because I got two little girls there. They play in the back.
Well, I'm sorry about that, but
Yeah.
it's got to come down or rebuilt, and I hear you. So,
That's why I have over here estimates that I've been trying to.
no,
get
I appreciate it.
estimates,
Yeah, I know you're trying to do the right thing. Yeah, totally get that. But I'm just trying to fashion a way that,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
we get to the end line that's fair for everybody. So, I'm going to find the property does remain in violation. I'm going to give you 10 days because you just got home.
Yeah.
10 days to get the property in compliance. I'm not telling you how to do the property in compliance, but you heard the officer. It's either take it down or rebuild it so that it's a good fence. And what I'm hearing you say is you're going to take it down, which is
Yeah.
fine.
Because it is very ugly, you know. But
And when you come in for when the price is right or you have some money and you're going to come in, please remember you're going to need a permit for the new fence. That's
Yeah.
not part of tonight. I'm just kind of I'm giving you that for free.
I came over here one time to find out about the permit, but I wanted to put 6 feet, but they told me I can't because I'm in a corner.
See, that's why it's important to ask first rather than to ask for forgiveness later. You save a lot of money.
They told me it's a corner lot. I can't go 6 feet.
Yeah.
I can go 5, but I got to get a permit.
All right, so I'm going to order that the property remains in violation as of tonight, the time of the hearing, and that 10 days to bring into compliance,
Now,
or a fine, that's the last step, of $50 per day. Again, I'm not trying to, we don't want to hurt you, but
Yeah.
we just got to have some way to make sure it happens. Okay?
One question. You see the white fence back there?
Yes.
That was the neighbor that put that up, but he didn't go all the way to, I don't know why he didn't go all the way to the, you see the 6 feet one?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why he didn't go, so do I gotta
Okay.
take that out too?
We
Just
can
the
talk
front.
about it. I'll give you my business card if you want to give me a call next week.
I think I got it right here, okay?
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate you being here tonight.
All right, thank you.
Okay. All right, we're going to move on to the next property, and I see that there are, looks like 4 cases. 70, 71, 72, and 73. And these are all dealing with 179 Citation Avenue, 070, 071, 072, 073. Okay, city ready to proceed? These are Massey hearings, folks.
Sir and Angela, with your permission, I would like to follow through on DEL 21-114. The owner of that property came in a little bit later this evening. I'd like to give him the opportunity to swear in and follow our normal course and take care of those before the Masseys.
Oh, you want to do that before the Masseys?
If that's okay with you, if you, If you'd rather me continue with the Massey's and post that case to the back, I can.
I've always done it first come, first serve, so.
Understood. I'll do the Massey's.
So let's just go ahead and do the Massey's. These are a permit, outdoor storage,
Yes, sir.
nuisance, and I think vehicles.
Yes, sir.
Those are the four matters.
Would you like me to address them individually or all at once?
Let's do them individually. They
Okay.
sound like they're different enough, we need to do it that way.
Understood.
Unless you're saying they're all basically still in violation.
Yes, sir, they are. They're all in violation. I have the days of which they're in violation for, the amount of fines.
Okay, let's just do them together then.
Okay. My name is Myron San Miguel. I'm employed by the City of Deltona as a code compliance officer. These are going to be Massey cases for DEL 21070, DEL 21071, DEL 21072, and DEL 21073 for the address of 179 Citation Ave, Deltona, Florida 32725. Owner is Rafael and Vivian Colon. The statutory requirements for notification of this hearing have been met by the notice of hearing and notice of code violations sent certified mail to the property owner at the address listed with property appraiser's records. In addition, both notices were posted at City Hall at least 10 days prior to this hearing. All the evidence in this case, including photographs that I've submitted, have been marked as exhibits and submitted to the code board clerk. I certify any and all photographs to be true and accurate portrayals of what I observed on the day that they were taken. To start, DEL 21-070 was heard on the 23rd of June, 2021. The order was signed on the 23rd of June, giving 45 days to come into compliance or a fine of $50 per day until the property comes into compliance. The property is now 18 days in violation. As of today, at $50 a day, that fine is a total of $900, and I would like to continue that fine.
Hang on a second, 18 days since the deadline.
Yes, sir, at $50 a day. Puts us at $900.
Okay, let's be very clear. This one involves not getting a permit
Correct.
for what?
This one is not getting a permit for the awnings or the attachments that were built and the structures that were built after the property was.
Because we're doing them all at once, so I want to make sure it's very clear
Yes,
to
sir.
everybody that how they're different.
So this
We're
shed
going to do them all,
right
sir,
here,
and then we'll get to you.
this shed right here, as you can see, is still there on the property. This shed, the awnings that are still built, everything
Okay.
is still on the property.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Next case.
Next case is going to be DEL 21071, and that's going to be for the commercial storage that was on the property. Case was heard on the 23rd of June and signed for $100 a day after 30 days given to come into compliance. The property is now 33 days in violation. Property was cited 33 days at $100 a day for a total of $3,300. The city would request that that lien be stopped at this point, and what the city is going to be doing is requesting a one-time fee for this Massey case and the final two, 3 out of the 4, to be given one-time fees because the city is going to move forward at abating the rest of the property for what's still there.
So what are you asking me to enter as far as a fine then?
So for DEL 21071, the city would request that the fine be reduced down to $500 for a one-time fee for this Massey case. For DEL 21
Hang on.
yes, sir.
Okay, that was 071, now we're in 072.
Yes, sir. For DEL 21-072, again, the same request. 30 days was given on the 23rd of June at $100 a day, totaling $3,300. We would request that be reduced to $500, one-time fee. Because this, yes, sir, because this is going to also be brought into the abatement because this is for the debris.
Yes, sir.
So for the commercial outdoor storage and the debris, we'll be abating the property for those.
Very good, I understand. Please go, proceed.
Yes, sir. DEL 21073, that's going to be for the large box trucks that were still on the property. This property is now in violation 49 days, still in violation at $50 a day for a total fine of $2,450.
Hang on a second. 49 days
Yes, sir, at $50 a day
for a total.
of $2,450. The city would request that this also be reduced to a total of $500. And the city will abate this week and have those vehicles removed. So out of the 4 Massey cases, 1 would be continued, DEL 21-070. We request that fine continue for the permits. As of today, when I checked, there hasn't been any even started in the system.
Okay, I understand.
Okay.
All right, is there someone here for these 4 cases, 179 Citation Avenue? This is your opportunity to come forward and tell me what you want me to hear. Sir, if you could go ahead, he was sworn? Okay.
I believe so, sir.
Could you give me your name and your address, please, sir?
My name is Rafael Colon. I live in 179 Citation Avenue.
So let's talk about first this first case, sir, because they're different than the other. You have a total of 4 cases here tonight in front of me.
Okay.
These are all cases, let me just hear me out a little bit. These are cases where this is not the first time I've heard these cases. This is the second time. That means we're not arguing tonight about whether you're in violation or not. That already happened. What we're arguing about tonight, what we're talking about tonight, is how we can avoid you having to pay the city any more money than you already have to pay. So I want to talk about the first case. You've got some awnings, and you've got some sheds out there that need to be permitted.
I came over here and asked for a permit. They require me a civilian and some blueprint. So I found this architect, but all of this was only on 45 days. So I put my priority on the cleaning. I cleaned all that stuff out. I demolished all the buildings except for the one where that one right there. That's the one I got left, and the other shed that I got left, I had to take that down. And I had to move the vehicle, but I'm only one person, and it's been raining like hell almost every day.
Let's do these one at a time. The first one's just about the permits. That's all we're talking about just now.
Okay, the permits,
Just-
okay? So I got the building papers, you know, that the architect gave me, and I brought that with me. And then I need that to be able to require the permit.
Okay,
I need that for that.
so you know that you just need to keep working on getting those permits, right?
Yes, I am working on that.
Okay. And right now, because it's taken so long, this is what I want you to understand, Mr. Colon.
I know.
Their fine's running. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I have no choice but to enter an order because of the length of time that's happened.
I'm 68 years old. I just made 68 on July 20.
I
And
know.
it's been raining like hell. So, and I've been trying under the rain to get this properly addressed, okay?
I hear you, but I want to help you. Here's how I want you to listen to me. For this case, I need you to work as fast as you can with this gentleman right here
Okay.
to get those permits done and finished.
Okay.
And then when they're done, you two can talk about what the fine's going to be.
Understood.
Okay.
Okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find that the property remains in violation. This is just on this one case. And has been in violation beyond the date required in my prior order for a total of 18 days at $50 per day. So it's $900 is the total fine today, and it's running at $50 per day. So again, I'm going to say it again. On this case regarding the permits, the faster you can work with the city of Deltona, and this gentleman right here, the faster that fine, the quicker that fine ends, and then this gentleman will explain to you about the process about trying to reduce that fine.
Okay.
The key is compliance. We're not here to make money. Key is compliance. Okay. The next three cases deal with some storage and some trash and some rubble, and then lastly, a couple big old box trucks. And what the city has told me they want to do, or what they're intending to do, is to go out there and help you by removing all that. And there's a legal process that they can use to do that. Now, they don't have to do that if you can get rid of all that stuff yourself. But right now, all of those things still remain out there. And so the fine is running. So I need to, hear from you, which would you prefer? Do you want to let them come out and take all the stuff out of there? And they'll charge you for it, because they're going to have to pay something.
Definitely, it ain't gonna be free. That's what I'm trying to do it myself. And I'm working on, I got the thing pretty much cleaned up. I got one of the truck cranking already. I'm gonna take it to a mechanic shop. And then I'm gonna try to move the other one to the junkyard.
Okay. All right. What I've heard is that all of these other three, they're still in violation.
But I got the place pretty much clean.
I understand. I think the city appreciates that you're trying, but it's been a long time. So what I'm going to order on these three other cases is that while there's a total of 071 for $3,300 and the same amount for 072, $3,300, 073 was $2,450, all of those fines are going to be reduced to $500 each, and they're not going to continue to run. And the city's remedy, because they're not running, that's what my order is going to say. So the clock is stopped, is that you guys are going to go through and use the abatement process, nuisance abatement process. So
Yes,
make
sir.
sure it's clear to the city that my order is as you asked for. So there's no leverage under this process to get these properties cleaned up. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, sir, what I'm going to enter is an order that these properties, this property remains in violation for these three separate cases. But the city has requested that the fines that are well over the amount they're asking for be reduced each to $500. But they're going to come out there, they're going to use a legal process, give you notice, and they're going to come out and help you clean up the property. Okay? So that's what's going to happen. Do you understand what I'm telling you?
I hope not.
What?
I will try my best not to.
And that would be great. And I think they would love to not have to go out there as well. But just in case they're coming, you understand what's happening?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, that's what we did tonight. You'll get written copies of this order on these four cases in the mail.
Okay.
Okay, thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you.
Okay, you take care and be safe. Okay, we have one more case. Sorry to keep you waiting, sir. DEL 074. Oh, there's 74. Okay, we got another repeater here.
Is this for
So
Barbara
there's case number 074, 075, 076, 077, 078, 079, and that's it. Okay. All right, so just so the record's clear, we've got, let's go through this. We're starting with 074 on the agenda. One property, multiple Massey cases, all the way through 079. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
All right. Do we need to present these separately?
The property has come into full compliance. The only thing that we are presenting tonight, we can present them together.
Oh, the property's in compliance.
Yes, sir.
That's good news.
So the property has come into compliance. However, there are days and fines that have accrued due to coming into compliance after the initial order was given. So,
So notwithstanding that the property is in compliance, the city is still seeking some amount of fines?
yes, sir, that's
Okay.
correct.
All right, let's proceed.
Okay. My name is Myron San Miguel. I'm employed by the City of Deltona as a code compliance officer. These will be Massey cases for City of Deltona versus Talon Salvatore LLC, 1705, property address located at 2481 Barbarossa Ave. Statutory requirements for notification of this hearing have been met by the notice of hearing and notice of code violation sent certified mail to the property owner at the address listed with property appraiser's records. In addition, both notices were posted at City Hall at least 10 days prior to this hearing. All of the evidence in this case, including the photographs, have been marked as exhibits and submitted to the code board clerk. I certify any and all photographs to be true and accurate portrayals of what I observed on the day they were taken. This Massey case, 074, 076, and 079, those three Massey cases on this address are the ones that have accrued a fine. I'm going to start with 074. After order of 45 days, a fine of $50 a day accrued for 2 days, totaling $100.
Hang on a second. We're talking about 074, 2 days beyond the deadline, $50 a day for $100.
Yes, sir, I apologize. 74, 76, and 79, these three, the city is going to be requesting to be withdrawn at no fine issued.
Okay, so 074 is withdrawn. What's the next one that you're withdrawing?
076 and 079. The request to withdraw them and set it up as a repeat if it happens again.
Okay, fair enough. It will be, well, they've already been found in violation. This is a Massey hearing, so it's going to, I mean, you can withdraw the Massey, still going to be a repeat violation next time.
Correct.
Okay. All right, so let's start with 075, because you didn't withdraw that one.
Yes, sir. 075. 075, after an order of 7 days, a fine of $50 a day for 11 days accrued, totaling $550.
$50 per day. Property's in compliance now.
Yes, sir. The city is requesting that reduction to be $100. Scott, the resident at this property, he's changed the entire look of the face of the property. He's resodded the entire property. He's cleaned it up. It looks 20 times better than it did before. So after discussing with my team and my supervisors, we decided that we would like to reduce the amount of fines down.
Okay, but this
to the
one
amount
was
that I'm listing.
$550, and you're asking for a reduction to $100.
Correct.
Okay, all right, 075, now we've done, now 077.
21-077 was ordered for 7 days and then a fine of $50 a day. That was in violation for 21 days, accruing a total of $1,050.
So it was also $50 per day?
Yes, sir. The city is requesting a reduction as well for this case to be $200.
Okay,
The last one, DEL 21078, was given 14 days or a fine of $50 a day, 21 days in violation, totaling $1,050.
hang on a second, I'm writing as fast as I can here. Total $1,050?
Yes, sir. Also requesting that to be reduced to $200.
200, 200, and 100.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, it says that the owner is Talon Salvatore LLC Trust. I'm getting the impression that's not who's here tonight.
Correct. The owner of this property runs the trust. The resident, Scott, who lives in that house, who's been maintaining the property and working with us throughout every step of the way with these cases, is here tonight.
So if I find that there's a fine should be imposed, who's going to be paying it?
Ultimately, Scott will end up paying it.
Okay, yeah, he was fessing up. Sir, I think we're ready for you. Sorry to keep you waiting. Did you understand what the gentleman just said?
Yes, sir.
All right, what do you have to say for me? Give me your name, please, first.
My name is Scott Stevens. I live at
Hang
2481.
on. I'm sorry, you came in late. I need to swear you in.
No, I was here.
You got sworn in?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Just let the record reflect the gentleman was sworn in. Okay, I'm sorry to interrupt.
All right.
Name and address.
My name is Scott Stevens. I live at 2481 Barbarossa Avenue.
So you've heard where we are. I mean, where are you on that?
I kicked them out. It was my daughter and her boyfriend was living with me. I was helping them out. And I work. I've been in my job 12 years now, same job. And I go to work and come home and tell them to clean it up, and they don't do it. So I gotta kick them out. They're out.
What I heard Stevens, Mr. Stevens?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Stevens, I heard the city say that they've been very impressed with the work that you've done to bring the property in compliance. And they're appreciative, and you know, for me, that goes a really long way too, because my job is to make sure the code's complied with. So from that standpoint, thank you. There's a lot of fines that they've either withdrawn completely. There was 6 cases, I think, and the others have been reduced substantially. One from $550 to $100, and the others were $1,050 to $200 each. So it's a total of $500 that they're asking for fines, which I asked who's going to pay it, and you said you. So are you asking for the fine to be less than that?
Yeah. I mean,
it's been going on a long time.
I know, but I'm willing to pay whatever. I mean, it is what it is. It's my fault.
Okay. Well, here's what I'm going to do, folks. I'm going to find that the properties are now in compliance on the 3 cases. And I'm going to find that because the gentleman's working real hard, I'm hearing that the property's in compliance.
Yes, sir.
Sounds like it's going to remain in compliance. That's
It's my house.
okay. So I'm going to reduce the fines from $500 to $100 each. So it's a total of $300. All right?
Yes, sir.
Because they've been there a long time, and I know why, but the city's put a lot of effort into this. So I'm going to reduce the $200 fines to $100. So it's a total of $300. And you're going to get written orders. They'll say that 3 cases were withdrawn and 3 went forward tonight, each for a total fine each of $100.
All right.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And thank you again for being here tonight and for fixing these properties up.
How do I go by paying it? Can I make payments? Or do I have to?
You don't, fortunately or unfortunately, I don't see a penny of the money. So I'm going to ask you to get with these folks right here, and they'll tell you the different ways that are available to make sure that these fines are paid.
All right.
Okay?
Yeah.
But I stay away from the money part of it.
I didn't know. Sorry.
I know. Appreciate you being here. Before you leave, maybe one of these gentlemen could get with you and explain to you what the process is for getting these fines paid.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, sir. Take care. Be safe.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to get forward. We're going to try to get done and get forward with go back to I think that was it for all the cases where someone was here. One more? Okay. Mr. Colon, you can go. You don't need to stay. Could someone tell him he doesn't need to stay?
Did you need to see me? Okay. I have a couple other cases to present, so if you want to hang out when I'm done, I'll gladly speak to you. I said I have another case to present, so if you want to hang out till when I'm done, I'll gladly see you. I won't be there tomorrow, but if you want to have a seat, I'll gladly speak to you when I'm done with my case.
All right, sir. I'm sorry. I did not see you sitting back there. What case are you here on this evening?
He's here for DEL 21-114, sir.
114? Thank you.
For 990 Winbrook.
So if you want to go ahead and just have a seat, we'll call you up in 1 minute.
All right, we're here on DEL 21-114, property address 990 Windbrook Drive, and the property owner is listed as Artemio Ramirez, and I again apologize if I mispronounced your name, sir. This involves a vacant structure and some issues with the entry, I believe. So the city ready to proceed?
Yes, sir. Good evening. My name is Myron San Miguel. I'm employed by the City of Deltona as a code compliance officer. This is going to be case number DEL 21-114, City of Deltona versus Ramirez Artemio, address of 990 Winbrook Drive, Deltona, Florida 32725, parcel ID number 813012010110. It's going to be in violation of Section 18-3, adopting the latest edition of the Florida Building Code. Florida Building Code Section 116.1, conditions, structures, or existing equipment that are hereafter become unsafe, insanitary, or deficient because of inadequate means of egress facilities, inadequate light and ventilation, or that constitute a fire hazard, or are otherwise dangerous to human life or the public welfare, or that involve illegal or improper occupancy or inadequate maintenance, shall be deemed an unsafe condition. Unsafe structures shall be taken down and removed or made safe as the building official deems necessary and as provided for in this section. A vacant structure that is not secure against entry shall be deemed unsafe, located at your property at 990 Winbrook Drive. This case was initially opened up in June. This case is paired with a separate case that was opened up. That started in June, and the city went and posted a 24-hour abatement after trying to make contact with the homeowner. It involves this in-ground pool in the back that you can see up here. What the city went and did was we posted and put up a orange fence, temporary fence, to prevent anyone from falling in. Unfortunately, I don't have that here to post on the screen, but I believe it was submitted as an exhibit to you.
Well, we're not here on that case. We're just here about the condition of the property.
Correct. So moving forward into this case from that, there has been no information or contact from the homeowner. The structure and the part of this section 116.1 that this falls under is the unsafe conditions of this structure. Given that there's no barrier, that there's nothing and there's no fence on this property to prevent anyone from falling in. This is a rental property. These people have lived there for several years and they have young children. And the homeowner needs to complete what the city started per the abatement and make this pool safe. We received payment for the abatement that we did on August 2nd, which showed me and told me that someone was noticed and someone received it, whether that was the homeowner or someone for the homeowner. Since then, I've had no email communication, phone communication, or any information as to what is going to be done or what has been done. And as the last date of last week when I took these photos, nothing was still completed.
So is tonight's case about the pool?
Yes, sir.
And just the pool?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What would be necessary to bring the property in compliance?
In order to bring the property to compliance, they would have to clean out the pool of the unsafe conditions that are around it and put a guard up so that no one can fall in.
So let's be specific. What are the unsafe conditions around it that would have to be cleaned up?
The unsafe conditions around it that would have to get cleaned up is in this photo on the left-hand side. You can see some debris that's there.
Okay.
If they can remove those items enough to be able to put up a guard of some sort or cover the pool completely in such a fashion to ensure that if someone were to fall on it, they wouldn't fall in or through, that would bring this code into compliance.
Of course, they could also just fix the pool and put water in it.
They could.
Now, would they still need a barrier around it under those circumstances?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the barrier is needed one way or the other?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Mr. Ramirez, were you sworn in? You're here for Mr. Ramirez. Sir, I'll ask you your name in a second, but have you been sworn in this evening? Okay. If you'd come up now and give me, and tell me your name and your address, and then tell me what you want me to hear.
My name is Jose Ortiz. I live in 2200 North Volusia Avenue, Orange City.
And sir, what is your relationship to this property or this property owner?
Well, he's my boss.
The owner is your boss?
Yes.
So you work for him?
Yes.
What is your relationship to this address?
Well, he told me to come over here today to show and prove that he's going to cover the pool.
Okay, so that's going to be his solution. You're telling me that the gentleman is going to fix it by covering the pool?
Yeah, he's going to cover it, yeah.
Okay, is there anything else you want me to hear?
That's it.
Okay, that was easy enough. Okay, fair enough. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to find that the property remains in violation, and at this point in time, it's unsafe. It is unsafe.
Okay.
I'm going to say it one more time. It is unsafe. I need you to take that message back to the gentleman that sent you here tonight.
Yes.
Because you are just the messenger.
Yeah.
But this is a rental property with a family, with children in it. And this pool's been out there for a long period of time. I don't want to get up tomorrow morning or the day after tomorrow and read in the newspaper that some child died on this property because we didn't do the right thing here tonight. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I need you to pass that message along,
I will.
hopefully in the same manner I'm passing it to you,
I will.
to the person that you work for. And I'm going to find that this property needs to be fixed in 2 days, 48 hours,
All right.
or a fine in the amount of $250 per day.
Okay.
2 days from today.
Okay.
And you might want to tell them this. This property, and I'm not trying to be harsh to you, sir, but I'm trying to send a message.
Yeah.
This property is a rental property. That means it's not homesteaded. And what that means is if this property gets liened, the city can foreclose on that lien.
Okay.
He can lose his property if he doesn't get this fixed.
He's gonna fix it.
Okay, 2 days.
Nope.
Okay, thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you.
Not mad at you,
Yeah.
I'm mad at the situation.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thanks for being here tonight.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, let's go back to the beginning. DEL, we're on old business, folks. We're going to try to get through these remaining cases. DEL 21090. Officer Laracy.
This is in reference to DEL 21090. The address is 1480 Pear Avenue. The owner is Hernandez Johanales Rosa. I am Marian Laracy with the City of Deltona Code Compliance Officer. It was entered into evidence exhibits proving proper service and a copy of the original magistrate order along with photographs. This case was heard and the order was signed on July 28th, 2021. Giving 7 days to come into compliance or a fine of $100 per day until the property comes into compliance. The property was in violation from August 5th, 2021 to August 25th, a total of 20 days at $100 a day, giving a total fine of $2,000. And as of today, the property is still in violation.
$2,000 total fine.
Yes, sir.
Still in violation.
Yes, sir.
Any contact from the owner?
No, sir.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next case, DL 211092. Officer Muse.
Good evening, Mr. Eichmann. My name's Dennis Muse. I'm a code compliance officer for the City of Deltona. This is case number DEL 21092, Massey case. Address of 1130 Deltona Boulevard. Property owner First Union National Bank of Florida. I'm entering into evidence the proper service of this hearing. Posted at the property beginning of the month. I did take pictures today, neglected to bring them. Nothing has changed. The case was heard back in July 28th, 2021. The order was signed on July 28th, 2021, giving 7 days to August 4th to come into compliance or a fine of $100 per day until the property comes into compliance. The restriping of the parking lot has not been done, therefore it's not in compliance. So therefore, a total of 21 days of $100 a day for a total fine of $2,100.
Nothing from the owner?
I have not heard anything from the owner.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Okay. We're making some progress. We're on K, DEL 21077, a Massey case. Oh, wait a minute, we did that one, didn't we? Hang on, that's good. Okay, I think the next one is DEL 21113. Officer Brockhoff. Got that one right. Okay. Property address 934 Crawford Street. This is not a Massey hearing, and the property owner is Nancy Harmon. Whenever you're ready, sir.
My name is Steve Brockhoff. I'm employed with the City of Deltona as an enforcement officer. Code compliance officer. This will be case number DEL 21-113, City of Deltona versus Nancy Harmon. Property address is 934 Crawford Street. The parcel ID is 813-028-170-240. This is a violation of City of Deltona Ordinance Section 18-110, subsection 2. Debris, which states that accumulations of waste, yard waste, rubble, and debris are declared a nuisance and must be abated in their entirety. The statutory requirements for this notification hearing have been met by the notice of hearing and notice of a violation were sent certified mail to the property owner at the property listed in property appraiser's records. In addition, both notices were posted in City Hall and at the property at least 10 days prior to this hearing. All evidence in this case, including photographs, have been marked as exhibits and submitted to the code board clerk. I certify that all the photographs be true and accurate portrayals of what I observed on the day they were taken. This case began on February 7th when I noticed a man unloading scrap on the property and debris. I spoke with him and he indicated he was not aware that they were not allowed to scrap in the city. I informed him that it's a residential area, cannot run a business or scrap in there. I gave him time to correct. A little bit was removed. On March 28th, the property is still in violation, so I sent notice to the property owner, notice of violation, with a compliance date of April 7th. On April 12th, there was visible yard waste, and then actually behind the fence, he left the gate open. I could see that there was still debris. And so I set this up for special magistrate, and on August 11th, I posted the property and noticed that there is still hoarding going on and debris. This, I've got other pictures. This was initially on my initial investigation. There's, it looks like they're scrapping appliances and other types of debris. And that's when the fence gate was left open, so I could see that the debris is in the backyard as well. I went by, excuse me, this afternoon, and it looked like they had a trailer loaded full of debris. The front yard was cleaned up somewhat. However, the side yard still had some debris on it, and the back yard is still full of debris, including a junk truck. So at this particular point, it's still in violation of city ordinance.
What's the city's preference?
Preferences, we would like to give them 30 days. I have not had any contact with the owner, even though I sent, not from the notice of violation, and not from the notice of hearing.
So you keep referring to a gentleman, you saw a gentleman
Oh,
do this.
Yeah, this is a rental property.
That's what I figured.
But I had not received any communication from the actual property owner. The gentleman was there, assured that he would clean it up, however, it's still in.
What do you think a
violation.
reasonable time is to bring the property into compliance?
Well, I think a reasonable time is 30 days, because it is a
Mr.
standard
Reichman,
time.
I would think 2 weeks is more than enough time to do that.
I have a tendency to agree. 14 days.
And the
to
city would
comply.
prefer a fine of $100 a day.
So ordered.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're on H now, page 9, DEL 21115. You're still up. I saw that, did we do DEL 21116? Because I saw Officer Laracy. Someone going to handle that for her?
21116 was withdrawn. It had come into compliance with the fire marshal.
DEL 21116 is withdrawn.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I didn't have that on my sheet.
There was an email sent.
Okay, that's fine. I just want to make sure, because the reason it jumped out at me is Officer Laracy. I saw her walk out. So, okay, so that's withdrawn. Okay, let's go back. Officer
My name is-
Brockhoff, 21115.
My name is Steve Brockhoff, employee with the City of Deltona as a code compliance officer. This will be case number DEL 21-115, City of Deltona versus Robert and Lorna Lindstrom. Property address is 772 Vercelli, and the parcel address is 813-003-470-100. This is a violation of City of Deltona Ordinance Section 38-113, subsection A, which states that it shall be the responsibility of every owner, agent, or tenant of improved property in the city to at all times maintain those rights of ways most abutting their property. These responsibilities shall include removing litter and debris, cutting the grass and weeds to maintain a neat and trimmed appearance. Statutory requirements of this notification of hearing have been met by the notice of hearing and notice of violation were sent certified mail to the property owner at the list that was available from the property appraiser's records. In addition, both notices were posted at City Hall and at the property at least 10 days before this hearing. All evidence in this case, including photographs, have been marked as exhibits and submitted to the code board clerk. I certify that all the photographs be true and accurate portrayals of what I observed the day they were taken. This case began February 9th when I noticed that the right-of-way deteriorated. We had previous cases on this property probably 2 years ago where there's been additions and things to the property, and they were actually renting it out as separate apartments but it's zoned for single family. They have since, and we had that addressed to where now there's a central, all the areas are connected. There's one central cooking area. So now it complies with the city at those cases. But because that there's a lot of space to rent and not enough parking, this causes the individual that's staying on the right side of the property, they were driving through it. Now, when they parked, they were parking correctly because they were behind the front face of the house. However, they were accessing the city right away and tearing up the grass. So it was not being maintained according to city ordinances. I sent, on April 12th, I sent the notice of violation. It was sent out certified on the 13th. And then I noticed along the way still bad parking, but since then has improved. I know that they were trying to sell the property, and the realtor had contacted me at one point, but they weren't the owners, but I explained what the situation was. On the 11th, I posted for the abatement, or excuse me, for the hearing tonight. Although it's obvious somebody drove through it again, by the truck now is illegally parked. You can tell that the grass area, they are trying to avoid it. It has made some improvements. And at this time, the city doesn't feel that litigation is warranted because there is grass growing back, and that it seems like they're attempting to take care of the situation. What we would like, though, is to have it found in non-compliance at the time of posting, and dismissed without a fine, but be able to be considered a repeat violator in the future.
So ordered. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And I believe that does it. Did I miss anything?
No, Your Honor, that's everything.
Thank you very much, everybody. Gentlemen, good job.